What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Adrenaline RC YouTube channel, where today is finally the day the TLR tuned Typhon is going to get raced for the very first time. So as I told you guys in the last video, I went ahead and changed the diffs out from that 775. So in the front we have 10. I went 12.5 in the center because that was pretty terrible. I'm going to throw up some photos of what it looked like in this video somewhere. So 10 in the front, 12.5 in the center, and then 7 in the back. So a little bit thicker everywhere, and we'll see how it goes. It is much colder today than the last time we drove it, so we'll see if the shocks and everything are happy, see what the grip level's like. But we've got the car behind us here with our super fancy USRC servo, Coyote Speedo, and our Tegan motor, all of course available at Adrenaline. Today I think we're just going to go for some blue reflex all day, so we have on, and then I've got another scuffed set there. This set is a little lower in comparison to my other set, so I figured we'd start on these. Electronics still got a little bit of moisture in it, get the first round of qualifying in, switch over for the second round, or if these still have good life in them, maybe leave them on and then save the newer set for the mains. I don't even know my own race program. I think it's 2 6-minute qualifiers and a 10-minute main. I think that's what I've got in the system. I think that's what we did last time. So we'll see how it goes. We'll get, of course, the lovely driving footage, and we'll see how we look after Q1.
Alright, everybody is on their own clock. Everybody is on their own clock. Alright, Ethan Sanek's looking at an open track in front of him. Ron trying to stay with him there as he goes to the back of the track. This double to the far right. Oh no, man. Coming out of the... And now he's on his belly. On his back. Maybe I'll do an awesome little flip there. Yeah, well down, careful. With 4 laps in, Ethan McMahon is out on top on a 15.624. Typhon 14.608, Benjamin Decker 14.609. Jacob Hardison in his Arrma Typhon is on a 14.609.6, a tenth of a second faster than Benjamin Decker. It is truly tight at the top. Stephen McMahon on a 14.602. Benjamin Decker on a 14.605. Hardison on a 14.606. And Devon Malley on a 14.607. Going down over the big double. Oh, no! Running in the port area.
Oh no.
Did something break?
2 minutes left.
Is there a rock in it? Oh.
He's gonna go back at it. Even mechanic still wiggles around. He's the only one on a 15 lap pace. And Decker on a 14.602, so only needs to improve a little bit here. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, and then master clock.
1 minute left.
We got electric truck, one of two next. Electric truck coming up next. Mechanic going by for one more.
Brandon Hester done.
And Hester caught.
Benjamin Decker done. Bradley Lingerman done. Javon done. Chris Coquiano done. Nick the Partisan done.
Alrighty guys, we are checking in after our first qualifier, which as you'll see in the video, wasn't the most spectacular. I managed to get a rock stuck in my wheel, so that was cool. Or a rock, chunk of dirt, something. The car was quite a bit different than when we tested it the other day. I was quite a bit slower on my hot lap. Now, I mean, I am thicker fluids as well as the stiffer tire, but it seemed a little lazy in the steering, which is one of the things I was expecting based off of some of the comments that you guys had left. So I think what we're gonna do here, on the front tower, where those upper arm pills are, we are gonna go down on that, lower the front arm, and then on the back, I can't really swing this around here, but we are gonna add some anti-squat on the back. So I'll lose a little bit of on power, but it'll give me more rotation off power, hopefully, for both of those. And then I'm considering even just swapping back to my green reflex, just throw a new set on, just that way it has to have maximum grip. But I think that's where we're at right now. Like I said before, it's quite a bit colder, so I mean the shocks are probably way super funky, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So we did one more thing in our little downtime. So I had the anti-squat in the back, like I said, and then the front arms, I went super aggro and I dropped them like as low as they could go. I was even gonna take all the caster out, but unfortunately, with it all the way down as low as it can go, there's a little bit of clearance issue on the gearbox, but it's as low as it can go, and the arms are as forward as they can be. And then we took off these guys, these super springy guys, and I swapped to the trusty HB yellow springs. So got my charger going off. So we'll see how it goes. I think and I'm gonna add a little bit of turbo into the speed control, get a little more top end. Gonna do blues again, but my newer set. These foams feel a lot better, so I don't know if I did something funky to that other set, but we'll see how it goes. We're playing toy cars, we're having fun.
Everybody's on their own clock. Alright, putting in 3 laps. Keeping the game on a 15.6.2 after 3. Benjamin Decker on a 15.6.23. Hardington on a 15.6.25. Von Mallory 14.6.02. There's a Hutton 14.6.09. Schaefer 14.6.11. Linderman 14.6.17. Rayford 14.6.21. Chris 14.6.23. Brandon Hesser 13.6.15. Sean Clark 15.6.29. Alright, he's been making a mistake. That's not so good. A bit of a diagonal car coming down the right side of the track. Jacob Harson's now going to the top of the class. 15.6.2. Everybody else is on a 14-lap pace. A little bit of up down for a lot of guys in that last time by. Oh man, down all the way. Back up and running. Put up on a 2-minute warning. Looks like there's a part of the mini on
2 minutes left.
at the moment. Ben Decker, 14.6.01. The mechanic, 14.6.04. Von Mallory, 14.6.07. There's the second, 14.6.09. Linderman, 14.6.14. Round out your top 6.
One minute left.
1 minute to go. Even the mechanic moving up to that number 2 spot. He is clawing his way back to 15-lap pace. 45 seconds on the master clock.
Can I get a little room, Bradley? Thanks, buddy.
Drive it back on the ball. Drive it to the man.
Brandon Hector done. Benjamin Decker done. Jacob Hart has been done.
Alrighty guys, round 2 check-in with our TLR tuned Arrma Typhon. Just finished up. As we know, we made a bunch of changes. We changed the front arm location, changed the rear anti-squat, changed some springs out, and it went really well. Car definitely got better in that round compared to round 1. I don't know what my lap time was, so I don't have a reference there, but I did take the TQ for round number 2. It is qual point style, and Ethan had a faster qual 1 than I did in qual 2, so he'll be on pole, and I will be starting second. So feeling pretty good here. Did the blue reflex again. I think maybe a relapse would be a little bit better, but I think we're just gonna stick with these. I don't really have any relapses that are in great condition, so just kind of working with what I got, and I think it's good enough. Obviously, it was good enough in round 2, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing. The car still has a little bit of a push to it. I think a lot of that is just gonna be suspension. As I said before, it got quite a bit colder out, so I think when I first drove the Typhon, it was warm out, so the shocks were too soft. Then for our last test video, they were pretty much on the money. Now it's gotten colder, so I think they're a bit too soft. But I don't really want to do too much like oil and piston changes today. So I think we're going to stick with what we've got going into the mains, just make sure we don't outdrive what the car can handle. Because obviously if I start pushing it too much, then it's probably going to end up pushing even worse. So I'm just going to make sure I hit all my marks, drive smooth, drive smart. Maybe the other guys will make a mistake, and then I'll be able to maybe lock up my first win with the TLR Typhon. So we're gonna get batteries charged up and run some mains.
On the turn, less than 5. And we're off. You almost tried to pass the first turn. But it looks like everybody's respecting the frame. Right from the mechanic at the elevation. Careful guys, careful. Don't hit the guy in front of you. Sorry. There's Ethan, Jacob, Brandon, Bradley, top 4. Quite the battle here for 3, 4, 5, 6. Goes up through the center, up over the elevation into the back. Here, trying to apply maximum pressure on the Typhon. Here comes the screen on the left side, on the right side of the track. Riley Ringerman just waiting for them to foul each other up so he can make the pass. Decker, in that 3 spot, just sort of cruising. No one's pressuring him, and he's not pressuring anybody. He's just on a Sunday drive, as they say. Harrison keeping it close to mechanic. We're on the back side of the track. Now on the far left, up over the tabletop, to the corner, on a downward double. The double across the center and up the elevation. Coming up on the 3 minutes expired and 7 minutes to go, 2-minute race. Yes, all over Devon. Devon not keeping his elbows out. Touching his line. One minute down, 6 to go. He is raised the tail, down the front straight. Off to the far left, over the tabletop. And maybe rolling on the downward button. Yeah, looking to the inside there on Devon. Last still keeping that door closed. Down the front straight. Yeah, he's ever keeping on the inside corner. He just can't find a way by. Off the center double, up the elevation they go. That is definitely the closest battle on the track. Really pushing hard. Devon hit the wrong end of it. Really doing it. Another buggy that had nothing to do with it. Oh man, that's Jacob Arthur got by even the fans on this one. Yeah, now the whole gaggle of cars and the leaders are going through the chicane. That was tight, but it looked like they both went through. Not too much problem. Uh-oh, it looks like even a front. Oh no, that's a different time. Stop using it with only back. It looks like he survived. Typhon on the far right, sees the swing. Ethan is in the seat trying to get around the track. Traffic doing the big one now. Ethan McDonald's got the buggy with the yellow wheels and the clear wing. So if you have a buggy with a clear wing behind you, he's running by. He definitely has already lapped you. In the hunt for recap for first place with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Hey Jacob, on this corner, I'll let you go.
Even the mechanic definitely charging hard. He is increasing that gap with 1 minute and 55 seconds to go. Man down in the center double. Man down in the center double. We are through. Just in time for 1 and 2 to go by. Ben Decker maintaining that third spot. Good. In that fourth spot. Typhon getting a little close. Not anything really enough for Ethan can't take advantage of it quite yet. He is closing the gap and there's some traffic coming. The leaders are coming through the chicane. They're letting them by.
1 minute left.
Battery, don't die on me.
This definitely is reminiscent of old racing and partisan and mechanics. There's the tail. Oh, the tail's whipping inside. This traffic in front of them. Traffic gets out of the way. Small mistake by hitting the pipe. Into the screen. Down the front street they go. Now they're over the far left side. Up over the tabletop. Hard to a little bit of gap on the downward double. Coming to the center of the track. This pace in pursuit. Up the elevation they go. 21 seconds to go. They'll go back for one more lap. The big double in the back, through the screen. This will be the final lap right here. It will be a lap of who makes no mistakes. The tabletop. Down the double. Through the center of the track. Up the elevation. The solid round. It is just a race to the end. The big top double. To the right.
Well, everybody, we have made it to the end of yet another race weekend, and this one, of course, being the first with our TLR tuned Typhon. It is the day after. Of course, get some rest, have some time to reflect on the race day as a whole, and I gotta say, it went really, really well. We had some good competition here. We had Ethan Mechanic, he's an X-Ray driver, super fast. We had Ben Decker, also an X-Ray driver, super fast. Ben, for reference, won a lot of things at the Invitational this year, the Expert E-Buggy group being one of them. So we had a really good reference driver-wise to be able to see where the TLR tuned Typhon stacks up in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, it went really, really well. The track was in good shape, which provided some good racing. I did just stay on reflexes all day. I decided to end off with just a set of green reflexes because my blues were getting a little low, and it was the only thing that I had that was glued up, ready to go, brand new, had a glued foam in it, which was probably a good thing with the amount of grip that came in on the track. But the main went super well. At the start of the day, had a little bit of a rough start, as you guys know. Got a rock stuck in the wheel. So didn't start off super duper great, and then the car definitely felt like it was lacking a little bit of pace compared to the last time that I had tested with it. So we went inside, made those couple changes that I went over, and second round went really well. Was able to take the TQ, which put me second overall on the grid for the main, which I wasn't really expecting, being that we haven't put an ungodly amount of time into the car. Obviously, we know on a single lap pace it does pretty well, but obviously it does pretty well on a multi-lap pace as well. Big thing was definitely, oh, I stepped on something. The big thing definitely was being consistent. Hot lap wise, in the main, I had a 24.8. Both Ben and Ethan both had 24.4s. But I drove a really, really consistent race. 98% consistency, which was awesome. And it literally came down to the wire. As you guys saw at the start of the race, Ethan was able to make a little bit of a gap to me. Then I closed back in. I was able to get around him. And then, of course, I was able to make a little bit of a gap. Towards the end of the race, the battery did start to die, which we'll go into some stuff I'm going to go over here in just a little bit. But the battery did start to die, so it got a little sketchy, but we were able to hold him off. He went for a last lap hoorah pass, which luckily for my case, didn't go well for him. I was able to hold on in that final turn on the last lap to, of course, take the win for the day, which I think says a lot for this car. This is, I know it's not the true like ready to run Typhon, but it is a more ready to run styled vehicle. So the fact that with a couple of changes, mostly out of the box stuff you can do, the servo saver tube isn't out of the box, and then of course the springs I did aren't out of the box, but like the pill adjustments and stuff are out of the box. Changed some diff oil, which is, I mean, pretty standard for race car stuff. So with a minimal amount of extra money invested in the car, I mean, I think it says a lot. It did really, really well for me. So I think the couple things that we need to work on, now going into what I was talking about just a little bit ago that we were going to get into. It's not great on battery life. That is one thing that is for sure. I didn't do any warm-up laps at all. I literally just checked in and went on the grid, and I think if we would have gone for one more lap, it wouldn't have made it. And I did have LiPo cutoff turned off, so we were going to stretch it as far as we literally could. I think the thing for that, and you'll also notice in the video, it's not super fast down the straightaway. I think the gearing is just really inefficient. I went back and did some research after the racing last night, and it comes with a 50-tooth gear, whereas most of the race cars are anywhere 46 to 48, most sitting in that 46 area. I think Tekno's the only one that's lower at 44, but nonetheless, quite a bit different. So I think it's very inefficient on that. So I think if we put the options for gear on it, that should help that issue some. Not only will I get better pace over the course of like a straightaway, for example, but with the more efficient setup, hopefully the battery will last a little bit longer. The other thing that I think we really need to work on now is just getting the suspension dialed in. I didn't have a whole lot of time to mess with the actual shock package, so I think pistons is probably gonna be the next thing, pistons and oils. The springs on it now feel pretty good. The stock springs were a little too springy, I guess you could say, but I think we've got a good base point now, and with the suspension work we do, hopefully that will allow it to get that little bit more agile front end, but of course, time will tell. So to answer the question, can the TLR tuned Typhon with minimal extra investment compete with high level expert e-buggy drivers? And the answer is yes. So we're going to continue on our path here. Maybe one day I'll be able to beat Lee with the Typhon. That's probably a bit more of a dream than anything, but I'm gonna try. But we're gonna continue on, keep making it faster and faster, work the process, get the gearing right, get the suspension right, work on some weight stuff, get that all squared away. We'll go over the car right now. But we've got a really good base, as we've said in all of our videos. Let's see our lovely car here, dark green reflexes. They actually didn't shred too terrible. I thought for sure that the greens were gonna be a bit too soft, but they did pretty well. So gearing, suspension, weight. I think that's our next task with this guy. But we had a good day of racing, had a lot of fun with some homies, playing some lovely toy cars. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, if you stayed till the very end, or if you skipped through whatever it is. But we will continue on with our TLR tuned Typhon in the near future. Things are going really well. We hope to see you guys next week for an all new video.